Shortstop, play it all, leaving the catcher. 1 through third base, he a boss, Dylan Hatcher. Dylan, my homie, and keep you on guard.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
There's a buzz around the orbital this evening. As a matter of fact, multiple buzzes. As if a bunch of different hives, or rather chattery bees, had set up holiday homes around the place, all popping up for drinks and a gossip. It's not just that a system had been permit-locked, and everyone wondering what it meant for the galaxy, the Thargoids, the reports from Atus and Haxwing. It's also that in the next couple of weeks, Hutton would finally have a chance to get together in person, with only mild anxiety of giving each other mods and share a drink or 10. Then there's the planning office of Mother Shouty of Calcutta. Normally set up over in Doncombe, he appears, with his retinue, to have decamped temporarily with his entourage to Hutton, with a lot of lists and an Entarius fusion in chains. And finally, last but not least, there's a visit from the Galnet Rares Digest, who've been here all week. Amongst all that hustle and bustle and buzz, there's just one more buzz. That of the station announcement speakers, which have taken a break from their usual dire warnings to crackle into life and broadcast the words.
Our mics are live.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's Hutton Orbital Live. In an unexpected turn of events, it's me, not him. He's at the annual convention for lycra-clad, battery-powered, greenery-eating hippies and the militant wing of the Galactic Initiative of Vegans, Environmentalists and Fellows of Universal Calm. Or to give them their correct initialism, give a fuck. Yes, I'm the shy and retiring Harry Balzac, and joining me we've got...
I'm so sorry. Really, I mean, I've been with Amelia. I've been trying this stuff all week, and I can't read the script. I love you guys. Here, have a hug. Oh, sorry, it's me, Wilma.
Did someone say hugs? I'm always good for some hugs, especially now I've recovered from the mods. I'm the apology officer, and you have got nothing to apologise for.
Hang on a minute. Did you say retiring?
I'm retired, you know. Officially. I've got a bus pass and everything. Free Apex taxi rides wherever I want. I'm Norma.
Well, I'm retired too. Out to pasture, over the hill, carpet slippers and a blanket over my knees. But more on that another day. In the meantime, as that loafer Rudolph is beating off vegans with a sausage sandwich, I suppose I'd better press this button.
Brewer caught cooking the books.
It's getting way too hot and a little bit messy in here.
Going for Gold 3 update.
Talent, hardly worth half a shekel.
Cry havoc and release the puppies.
All the community news that's fit to print, if not to broadcast.
First this evening, it turns out that following their enormous fleet carrier giveaway as a result of the billions upon billions of credits made in recent CGs, Brewer Corporation have been caught on the hop and pictured with their fingers in the till once again. Having saturated systems throughout the galaxy with giant floating space bars, caused enough wibbly switch space energy from all the jumping that orbits are in danger of destabilizing, and normalizing the practice of standing around in corridors looking important to many a jobbing security guard. Brewer finally decided to cash in. What at first looked to be a rather forgetful collection agency neglecting to charge your upkeep in 1 week then the next. And the resulting panic as commanders saw larger and larger debt values build up on their little screens next to the commander's chair turned into a full-scale investigation by the Galactic and Universal Revenue Service, or GURS. It appears that Brewer had failed to take the revenue from carrier commanders and then charged compound interest on the resulting debts owed, often measured in daily percentage rates that would make even the long-lost lira look like monopoly money. Enterprising commanders, including Commander Hankey, who managed to locate his calculator, setting complaints to the Ombudsman's office, stating that as a multi-billionaire with a lot of fleet carriers, including his 10th fleet carrier Splitter, he was being charged what amounted to the turnover of a small planet in excess charges. After a short investigation, a series of arrests, a fugitive chase across space, and not a little bit of probing by the Ombudsman, they've actually got power in their 3300s, unlike their 21st century counterparts, who appear to accept charity donations from big corporations as a way of getting out of trouble. The financial director of the Brewer Corporation was captured, slapped in irons, and given the galactic standard punishment for such misdeeds. Yes! He spent about 3 minutes in jail and was fined 200 credits. The Pilots Federation have taken control of the payment systems behind fleet carriers. They have readjusted the debts owed to normal levels without the interest and will be managing them moving forward from now on. Brewer have yet to release a statement as their board of directors were busy packing a few suitcases full of void opals and heading for the nearest lawless system for a holiday.
As mentioned just before this news bulletin, Mother Shouty of Calcutta, paragon of virtue, supporter of the underdog. Well, he met a Mummy's Bog Spaniel once, and you can't get more under than one of those with the little short legs. And supporter of the working man and woman through hard times, has noticed that there is a new strain of mods out in the galaxy. One that is resistant to the usual preventative measures, namely the Hutton mug. This mug-resistant strain appears to be putting the strain on medical facilities throughout the galaxy. Nurse Wyeth has reported that she's all out of theirs and cold sponges. The virulent strain is said to brush off the rapid application of a Hutton mug with relative ease. With over 50,000 stations inoculated against mods, where did this new resistant strain come from? Was it monkeys? It appears that since the Pilots Federation opened up access to worlds with tenuous atmospheres and It appears that since the Pilots Federation opened up access to worlds with tenuous atmospheres and deployed their prefab sec ind and tab Lego brick buildings on any planet they could find, they forgot that the resulting explosion in travel trade and of course percussive interaction would give what little mods existed in the galaxy new ways to spread to hitherto mods-free locations. Mods. Mug ownership deficiency syndrome. Masquerading as all manner of nasty afflictions from space lurgy to itchy flight suit syndrome, and of course, cooties, is mitigated by the mere presence of a Hutton mug. The interaction of a Hutton mug with nearby frameshift energies acts like a UV lamp to bacteria, immunising nearby populations from catching something nasty. Having your own personal mug has been, until recently, a surefire way of staving off nasty plagues, bits falling off after turning green, and that horrid stench from your flight suit. Mother Shouty has discovered a new inoculation, Mug Plus Plus, warm Centauri Mega Gin from a Hutton mug. The interaction of these two rares, plus the aforementioned frameshift energies, is enough to send even the most nasty of space lurgies running for its mummy, crying in a corner and begging for mercy. In recent days, a plan to inoculate the rest of the galaxy has been born. Labelled Operation Too Hot Too Messy, in honour of the outcome of mixing two rares and then necking the contents, he has determined that there are over 130,000 new locations in the galaxy that have never received a Hutton mug, and at present are hotbeds of germs, viruses, pseudoscience afflictions, and rumours of chest-bursting aliens. Okay, the aliens aren't true, but the rest is. We fixed 50,000 in 3 months, so we reckon it can be done by September then. News on Too Hot Too Messy mission will be forthcoming over the next few weeks, but it is hopeful that with carriers, commanders, and a lot of cargo, mugs and gin can begin being distributed by the end of the month. Stay tuned over the next few weeks for more information, and in the meantime, bag yourself some mugs and gin over at Hutton Orbital and keep yourself safe from the mods.
At 5 weeks in, and with only 3 weeks to go, we are well into the second half of Going for Gold 3, Hutton's current squadron exploration event. In a light week for data submissions, Hutton slipped to place 7th in the squadron table with 2.5 billion points, but with the leaders now over 8 billion. Had the previous rate of submission been maintained, would probably be 4th with just under 3 billion. Panic stations are being spring cleaned, and those of a nervous persuasion might want to start thinking about booking a room. There are still 3 weeks to go, so let's hope the hardcore explorers have cleared their diaries and will come screaming into the Universal Cartographic Office at 0 feet to deliver their data bombs. If you're one of those, start thinking about your turn for home so that you don't miss the party. We now have over 50 truckers contributing data to the overall effort, with many more still out there yet to make their mark. If you want to see what's going on, go to the Going for Gold 3 events page at hot.forthemug.com/going_for_gold. Given the low submissions during the week, Montgomery Python has held on to the top spot for a second week with 2 billion credits, ahead of Happy Moon Monkey and Mia Harkness. Other new entries into the 16-strong 100 million club are Zebadian and one of the Hanky Clone Army. It isn't too late if you want to take part. All you have to do is have the Hutton Helper running, download it from hot.forthemug.com. You need to be in the Hutton Squadron, that's Hut as in HUTT, and you need to sell your cartographic exploration data before 7 a.m. on Thursday the 21st of July 3308. You have 3 weeks left, so if you haven't already done it, get out there and get busy scanning.
It's not often at Hutton Orbital that we have time to watch other people's broadcasts. But this week, we were absolutely drawn to this week's episode of Galaxy's Got Talent. Entrants included Commander Palantir, whose magic act included making wine disappear with only the aid of a glass. Vantion's low-wire death-defying leap from ground level to even closer ground level, managing to produce red from inside his own body in multiple locations. And Flossy's musical number, where she managed to play the Flight of the Bumblebee, using only one pan and a series of misbehaving boys with specially tuned heads. Mia Harkness competed, but her speciality acts of mixing up all the tops off of a keyboard and then attempting to type a message was stopped before she managed to get to the end of her second sentence, with cries of "My eyes! My beautiful eyes!" from the audience. Commander Chicks showed his intimate weightlifting skills, but the judges had to call a halt, as tying weights to such a sensitive part of your anatomy and trying to make them spin without using your hands was, to be frank, making every male member on the panel wince. That's a terrible way to treat a moustache. The winner, as announced by some twonk with his trousers up around his armpits, was an unexpected novelty act. Commander Evenstar, who, using nothing but his tongue, managed to combine 2 acts in one. Firstly, a hands-free way to remove chocolate from a cactus, and secondly, to do his impression of a man swallowing a porcupine. Worthy winner there. I think we can all agree on that.
It feels very much like the calm after the storm here in Hutton Space this week. A successful war, 2 outbreaks, 2 infrastructure failures, cuddly toy, a large bus getting in the way. The week ended with something of a twang as one of our systems managed to swing free. More on those stories coming up. Reassuringly, Barnard's Star is propping up the table on 31, and with the other factions either already at war or making rude gestures at each other in order to get into one, this is a difficult time to push Hutton influence. The outbreak in Epsilon Indy was successfully relieved earlier in the week, leaving it on 38, so well done to the truckers that helped achieve that. However, the outbreak has merely shifted to our other Epsilon, Epsilon Eridani, which is on 35, so ship in meds to any of the large pad stations there. To the commanders who took over 10,000 tons of small blue performance enhancers from my fleet carrier in Epsilon Indy, I hope you had fun. I have reported the loss to the local system security, who are on the lookout for a gang of hardened criminals. Ross 671 is the fourth Hutton system on the Naughty Steps, still wallowing around on 38%, and a civil war is about to finish, so give this unassuming, often neglected system some truckly love. The infrastructure failures in Treppin and Wise at 0855-0714 were both cleared, so well done to those pilots who returned the system to normal operation and made themselves a tidy profit into the bargain. As heralded in last week's show, Hutton won the war in Avik 4-2 after Sirius's latest surprise attack, which comes so often it's surprised that we're surprised anymore. A large twang reverberated around Hutton's space yesterday as the huge bust in Wolf 25 was relieved, and several cases of whiplash were reported in Bonkers. Admiring glances have been noted from nearby systems at the lifting of the bust, and no doubt there are quite a few factions that would like to expand into it. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have just 4 systems above 60%, with one of those above 75%, from which we will be expanding very soon. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, relieve the outbreak in Epsilon Eridani. If you want to shoot something, fire some limpets into some terraformables and go for gold.
Another week, another event report. People are as keen to create new events for the entertainment of their fellow pilots as they are to participate, and this week, like every week, is no exception. We've got news from Does the Sun Still Rise in the East 5 Euro tours, At the Eldritch Gate, The Seven Sisters Speedway Remixed, The Great Sagittarius Expedition, and Too Hot, Too Messy. Commander Presence is still bravely drinking where no one has drunk before, and he's brought us Does the Sun Still Rise in the East, week 17.
Pint 144 has been drunk, and waypoint 13 has been reached. I've even managed to graffiti one of the planets in the system to prove I'd been there. The big tamale in the system is the ringed ammonia world known apparently as King Midas. According to legend, King Midas was given a pair of donkey ears by the god Apollo for judging a music competition between Apollo and Pan, he of the pipes fame. 2 things have struck me about this. The first is that I've flown around the planet and I can't see anything even remotely pointy, let alone ear-like here. And secondly, hasn't Simon Cowell had plastic surgery on his lugholes? Allegedly. I wonder why. The rings are really impressive, though, and it is one of the largest metallic rings I've seen. These, coupled with the lovely gold colour of the planet, make it really worth visiting. Good time was made getting here, though. I'm collecting and cataloguing all the flora I can find. As Artie says, I'm still 1,000 short of my next and final, hooray, shiny thing. The most unusual find on this leg has been what I think is the male counterpart of the Concha labiata, also known as Weary Traveller's Repose, or as the dirty chuckers from Hutton call it, a walnutty vagina. The Codex says this new species is some form of cactoida, but I'll let you judge for yourselves. I'm afraid to ask for suggestions for names, nor do I want to be around for the cross-pollination. I wonder what weird and wonderful life the next 10,000 light years to waypoint 14 will throw up. Talking of throwing up, it must be time for pint 145. Until next week, TTFN 07.
We think that Commander Hunter has been collecting the little umbrellas from all of his drinks over the last week and used them to make a piece of art. Now that he's finished that, it's time to change back into his working clothes and move to the expedition on, as he reports.
Hello, dear passengers on the €5 tour. After a week of well-deserved rest at Colonia Hub and a nice week of drinking at Jacques Station, it's now time to move on to our next waypoint, the world of death. That's right, the famous little planet that enjoys being around its mother star, the evil white dwarf. Please enjoy the sights, or burn to a crisp, depending on whether our pilot can get us out in one piece.
Expedition at the Eldritch Gate is only a couple of weeks away, and Commander Richard Fleurinez M is sending us, the truckers, plus Galnet News Digest, an open invitation to attend his gala event.
The Lord of the Circus Fiefdom of the ringed Earth-like world of Algorab, Slayer of EDR, Galactic Explorer Catalogue Curator, 7th Expedition Organizer for the Independent Explorers Association, Commander Richard, say my name, Fleurinez M, extends an invitation for Hutton Orbital and Galnet News Digest to attend the Inverness Gala on the 21st and host their radio show while the event happens. For this, Commander Richard Fleurinez M, in his determination to get the Hutters to participate, even in a small activity, has prepared carrier rides, which will allow the crew of Hut/Gal Digest to board some days prior, just for them to leave after the event conclusion, and not condemn them to the expedition and screw with their Going for Gold 3 objectives. As part of an actual announcement, IEA has facilitated and designed a calendar where people can simply jump into volunteer carriers for easy access/exit to the Vulcan's Gate area, which is 20,000 light years from the bubble. These ferries will come back and forth on designated dates, so people can jump into the experience without being intimidated by the initial distance to cover. Also, the initial squadron carriers have set up their different schedules in which they have designated their carrier arrival to their respective temporary home systems. With this being said, we have your seats and media designated rooms about our express rides. All you have to do is to confirm with us and attend the gala. A Hutton Orbital Radio program in the middle of the black sounds like a cool deal. We will also provide you with our calendar previews if you follow the link shown. IEA out. And he says, as a note, I'll get you to participate even if that means scheduling you Express FC rides in and out.
Although Alec Turner has returned from his vacation, we understand that he's brought back a lot of washing and a suitcase full of purloined cocktail glasses. So once more, Commander Reiko has put down their joystick and sent us this update.
Round 5 of the Buckyball Racing Club Magic 8 Ball Championship was a rerun of the Seven Sisters Speedway event, with extra shenanigans allowing daring commanders to claim time bonuses. Knowledge of a secondary neutron star in the 98K toy race system proved to be the decisive factor in both the Regulation Cobra and Open Unlimited classes, with Commander Captain MD, claiming victory in both classes. The same navigational shortcut allowed Commander Ella Stool Fair to take second place in the Cobra Mark IIIs, finishing over a minute ahead of third place Commander Brewski. In Open Unlimited class, Commanders Shea Blackwood and Darplata 94 took the remaining podium spots behind Captain MD. Shenanigan bonuses mattered more than raw times for non-podium positions, and the biggest benefactor of this twist was Commander Sulu, whose perseverance in the face of dozens of rebuys earned him top 5 finishes in both classes. Traumatised dockers at Ohm Horizons are considering banning the BRC from the station. A spokesperson said, "All those explosions, we thought the Thargoids were attacking, but it was just those crazy buckyball racers. We may need Operation Ida to repair all the damage."
The Clone Meister, Emperor King Definitely Not Compensating Hanky, is organising a special trip that starts 3rd of August. He's calling it the Great Sagittarius Expedition. It's a sort of general purpose exploration and uniquely starts from both the Bubble and Colonia. and will take about 2 weeks. Hanky says that it's an expedition to Great Annihilator and Sagittarius A, plus an extended trip to farm some neutron stars on the way back to the bubble. It's an event for both the bubble and Colonia and will use the fleet carriers Searcher and Oasis. There will be plenty of opportunities for exploration and all are welcome. It will incorporate the August Hot Bus and commanders can switch carriers at the Great Annihilator or Sagittarius A. A detailed timetable is on the Hutton Facebook events page. Hanky would like to make it clear as possible that this is not a slavery trip, unless you want it to be, in which case you must pay extra. Now, did we mention Lord Shouty's Too Hot Too Messy earlier in the news? And we'll be bringing you more on this exciting, very Hutton event as details are worked out. But for now, we wanted to bring you the exciting trailer.
In 2020, a few commanders pulled their efforts together to create one giant mess, fueled by the desire that every station in the game have their own Hutton mug, one mug to every single station. Now 2 years later, our expert team of data analysis have combed through the bio-waste deposits of Cubicle 3 to find we missed a few. Okay, several, okay, many thousands. The pesky Pilots Federation has added so many new stations in the last 2 years that over half have no mug at all. This, coupled with poor stations complaining about a lack of substance to drink from these mugs, have led us to this moment. This moment. We're going to have to do this again bigger, better, and with more mugs and a bottle of Centauri Mega Gin to put it. It sure is going to be messy. Too hot. Too messy.
But we've always got room for more. So email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and let us know of any events that you know about.
Well, there was tonight's theme. Sorry about the delay there. It comes from programming things in very late on. Never mind. Moving on. Nobody noticed. Oh, I wouldn't have done if I hadn't brought it up. Yes. 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 Okay. Moving on.
I was waiting for the apology to clear her throat.
Oh, no, I'll do it once we start talking.
Okay. Well, we're talking now. So the lack of caps threw you there?
Yeah.
Or is that because... Oh, you do have legs now, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a
now.
splitter, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you now know what a hab, sec, ind, and poor. Is that Welsh? For
poor, yes.
Poor.
Poor.
It's Welsh for power station.
Yes. I know what they are. I've never really been in them. I went down once and there was people there with guns, so I left.
Oh, that's very...
Yeah.
That's very...
pacifist.
Robin of you.
Yes. I didn't like the look of it. And on the PC I'm playing on at the moment, it's not a good idea to get involved with other people.
Yes. Anything with graphics on the screen.
Yes. As long as no graphics are needed, I'm fine.
Do it in teletext, you'll be fine.
Only.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole basis of Elite was that space was easy to draw. Well, it
I'm
was
on
1984.
I'm on dial-up here, though. You know.
Yes.
Is that like
Not Dyson. I never mentioned Dyson's.
It's not like Buckfast or something, is it?
No, it's not. No, sadly not. No.
Very good.
I used to know about an acoustic coupler, and I think that's just the people in the room next door had to bang on the door at night.
Yeah, the walls are a bit thin.
Yes.
Yes. The definition of safe sex is a padded headboard.
And a crash helmet.
TMI, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, since nobody, I'll ask the question. Has there been a Frontier live stream?
Well, yes, there has. It was Frameshift Live number 11. It streamed earlier today.
11?
11.
11?
11? Oh,
11.
I know Palantir watched it because I saw him in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. With my
I saw
pathetic.
both of you.
Yeah, we go, me,
I
look at me,
know
look at me, half, look. Oh, all right, don't.
Did they look at you? Or they didn't look at you?
No, the game's rubbish then.
How very dare they? How
Yes.
dare they not look at you?
No, well, they had terrible trouble trying to read out the tweet from last week's show. They left bits out of it as well, and they did the week before as well. Yes,
and we crafted it so carefully so they would fall into the trap. How very prescient of them. So it was Bruce and a half.
Yeah.
And not the guy at the end.
The space loach. Yeah, that's
space loach. So
does that mean they had a visitor?
Well, I don't know. Well, he did at the end, yeah. But why
is Sandro still around?
No, that's the thing.
Now asking.
No,
we don't know.
Was Sandro on the desk there? I don't.
All they found was a space loach and a beige cowboy hat.
There should have been a Tesco banana there for scale as well.
Yeah.
So, well, if you haven't got purple paint jobs by now, I don't know where you've been, but they had
probably at work.
It was the second, isn't it? The second of the summer paint jobs, the blueberry paint job. It was summer mango last. Was it not? I keep saying last week. It was last time. It's 2 weeks ago.
I like the sound of mango. What's the blueberry one like?
Well, there's a
put it up. Have a look. It's up there.
Yeah, I'll give it 15 seconds and then I'll see it.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk for 13 seconds so you can.
Yeah.
You can
there it is.
Anyway,
it's up there now.
There it is.
Ooh, butterflies.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like I've
got
got to
to
say I'm
nice
not
colours.
going to fly around conflict zones in that. But anyway, whatever floats your boat. And they only take 15 minutes to get. So if you want a paint job because you're tired of the one you've had since the launch of the game, you can turn the sound off.
Yeah, I might actually get one next week because I'm off.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's all it takes. And then a whole raft of other stuff if you actually stick around for the rest of the show. Oh, nameplates and packs and tattoos and lots of purple gear.
Yeah.
They still don't have. I mean, they keep trying to voice a news jingle. They got a sort of snappy. I'm going to throttle that magpie outside my window in a minute. They still don't have a jingle for their news. They have a nice little snappy transition for the news. They've got ticker tape, so there's lots of stuff. But nobody has been generous enough to donate them a news jingle. Anyway, small things.
Is that why they keep doing a shout out for Tom Cook, El Tacoso? Do you think they're doing a shout out to oh look, you're lovely, you're lovely, Tom. Yeah.
Oh, you're really good, Tom. Yeah.
It's what,
yes,
he might do because he's nice. So
Zach wasn't there, and he wasn't doing the producer role this week as well. And Zach did the community events calendar. He set that up and got it going, but we haven't heard very much about it of late. So they were giving that a good plug.
Oh, I know. I was looking the last couple of weeks because I also used it as a cheating way of getting hold of stuff for Norma's section, and it was the whole of June was empty until a few days ago. There was just nothing. It's
well, Oh, well, it's not much point now. You mean next June? Or
No. When I was looking earlier in June, there wasn't anything in there at all for the entire month. It's only just come in very recently, stuff. And there's stuff, a few things for July, but not much. It's one of those kind of, I think, where you need a critical mass, don't you? You need enough people to want to go there to be able to look to find things to make it worthwhile you put the stuff in there. And as we've covered in the past, you do have to give 7 days notice so that they can check to make sure you're not trying to sneak in rude words.
7 days?
Yes.
7 days?
It's exactly 7 times 24 hours before you can put an event
68.
in. No. Yes.
Yes. So they mentioned a Commander Picard. Is he coming to the end of his expedition, or is it was it just an update? I wasn't really listening too hard. I was scanning stuff for going for Goal 3. Commander Picard apparently has been in space for 2,000. Well, I mean, out exploring for 2,000 days, not playing the game for 2,000. He'd be a relative newcomer, but and in that time, he's jumped. I can't remember the exact number. I wasn't paying that much attention, but it was something like 1.1 million light years jump. Now, I don't think just thinking about the Hutton Helper. Oh, I've got it there. I can flick it up. Well, I do know that the last few people on the Hutton Helper, in terms of distance jumped, are just, So if you're 1.13 million, you'd be 16th on the Hutton Helper. So Comet-born is up there with 6 million light years. So anyway, Commander Picard's been out there for some time and has apparently scanned 260,000 planets. So there you go.
Yeah. I think I've done something like 2.5 million in my Xbox account.
I think you'd be able to tell who Picard.
No, you've done 1,884,640 because I'm 510 light years behind you.
Yeah, but it didn't. I didn't count the stuff I'd done before Hutton Helper was available.
Yeah, my stuff's not in there either.
So I know I got there's. I think it was EDSM. I got the badge for making it to the Andromeda Galaxy, which I think is something like 2.5 million.
2 million. Yeah. Anyway, I shall go past your box account by the end of the show.
But I'm thinking, Commander Picard, I think you better tell who this explorer is. They'll be the one hiding behind every asteroid, trying to get closer to a landing spot without being spotted by a pirate as he comes into the bubble. Or maybe he'll try and find a fleet carrier somewhere out in the black. Because isn't that the safest way of doing it now? If you could find a fleet carrier out in the black, you're out of the bubble. You could. It's one with cartographics. You could sell it to that.
Yeah, but you give up the two reasons. Well, I didn't do that when I did it. Although I did land on a fleet carrier stupidly, and it made calculating it a bit tricky. But one is you give up 25% of your haul to the fleet carrier because there's a penalty, and second, you don't get to send it all through Lee Yong-ri's nice Carto data laundromat.
Oh, good.
So it can if he wants, but up to them.
Yeah. I kind of think as well, when you get close to a fleet carrier, there's ships buzzing around about that as well. But
there could be. Yeah.
I kind of think if pirates pull you over and you stop and you don't have any cargo on board, they kind of just let you go, don't they?
Well, you were listening very closely to Commander Chix's tips last week, weren't you? Because if you got a lot of data, don't carry any cargo because it's worthless.
Yeah.
In comparison, what you lose. Yeah. Plus, you take the weight penalty even if you got no cargo.
The weight penalty?
Well, you take the weight penalty of the cargo rack to your jump range, even if it's empty.
But a cargo rack doesn't weigh anything.
Well, it weighs something.
Well, it used to.
No, it didn't.
I don't know whether it's changed now. No, it did, because I remember going, I'm going to get rid of those.
Yeah, cargo racks don't weigh anything.
So I offloaded mine at Colonia. Anyway, shall we look at this charming little video?
Yeah, so for those of you who didn't see the stream, there was a lovely little video. Well, you'll see. It's 2 minutes, 21 seconds of joy. LaveCon.
Yeah, I mean,
Feeling of
wow,
deja vu.
yay.
We won't be having a show
LaveCon.
on July the 14th, will we? No.
You mean
No.
you mean everyone missed that pathetic drum roll we had before we announced LaveCon?
Oh, is that what that was?
This is so good.
There we go. Yes. That was worth waiting for a second time. Yes.
LaveCon.
So drum roll
Yes.
with a Christmas cracker.
Yes. And we will be live there with one or two guests who may or may not be special.
Stuff from Frontier, they're definitely special.
Yes. So that's the thing. So if you turn up in 2 weeks' time for the show, it'll be even shorter than usual.
Who's wrestling their microphone?
Not me. Not this time.
I think Helen's using it to scratch her chin.
Oh, sorry.
I think she's using it to scratch. I think she's using it to scratch.
I think I had the
somebody
button
else's
press. I had the button press while I was scratching my head.
Yes.
chin. What, you don't get a scalp?
So anyway, back to stay on topic. Stay on.
That's all.
Keep going.
Stay on target.
So back to live stream. Yeah. So Frontier announced they will be streaming live from LaveCon on Saturday. That's in 2 weeks' time. There won't be a Hutton show in 2 weeks' time on Thursday, but it'll be Saturday, I assume.
At LaveCon.
Yes.
Before everybody gets too outrageously drunk.
And it will be late.
Sunday.
We haven't had the schedule yet, but it will be late. It's usually
That'll
around
be 2
10
days
p.m. British time. So
Aventians just gave the special guests away that you were all trying to keep so secret.
we have 6 of Frontier joining the show at LaveCon, but the secret news is that we're all joining Frontier.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yay.
None of that.
Well, he says 6 from. It might be the floor mopping guy from Frontier. It's just 6 people.
Yeah, 6
We do
people.
actually know because I saw the list somewhere.
Yeah.
And one of them might be somebody we saw this afternoon. So normally when the live streams these days are 2 hours long, and I normally get to play the game in the second half when they finish stellar screenshots and stuff, and they go off and play the game. But this time, I had a young chap called Darren, who's in fact he said at the end he's been working on Elite now for 6 years, and he claims that he's the joint longest serving designer on the game, still at Frontier. Anyway, so Bruce, he was being interviewed by Bruce and answered questions. And I don't know if you saw the live stream, but imagine Arf sitting in between them with a game controller, staring at the screen in front of him, not paying much attention to what was going on either side of him. It was a bit odd, I must say. So I was happy I was looking at my screen. The longest joint, yes, the joint longest, not the longest
The
joint.
longest joint in the whole company.
Wow, that's a whole packet of Rizzlers. That.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
But wasn't it a long one? That shit. Oh God, it went on and on and on.
We're still talking about the giant joint.
I think we're talking about the show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 6 o'clock news has started and everything. Dinner was late.
Oh, I'd already sneaked off at that point. I'd worked out I got all my Twitch drops and decided discretion was the better part of buggering off. So looking forward to LaveCon. There'll be even more hype next week, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll have some real news for our participation at LaveCon, something with more details. Yes, we hope. Yes, yeah. Different subject. You remember last week we had news article.
God, no.
Yes, about Alex Zuno and Volcarius and their clever little spit out a starship name, and I made it.
Oh yes.
And I made some fun, and then I had some email. I had an email sent back to me. Alex said about the name maker that if you want to actually, if in the unlikely event that anybody wants to donate time towards possessing with a suggestion or feedback, then there's a nice link which I've just pasted in there. There's a forum thread for it, but I said they were expanding it. Well, Alex has already composed another name format, which it needs to be programmed in yet, but so that you can choose specifically from one side of a context rather than just working out what the other side should be. So, for example, you could choose something like honour as a word and then use that for names something like honour exemplified or honour defined.
Is this with a U in it?
Yes. Oh, yes. Proper one. And there are going to try and put in some clever stuff to stop really weak things happening or honour, dishonour coming out, that kind of thing. So that's improving all the time. So and all night long it was honour and offer. Yeah. Yes.
I've just got lethal gladiatrix.
Well, you work with her, right? Have we got anything else to?
Plenty.
Have we got anything else? Because obviously today we do have the green. We have the green room. So if anybody is going to be thinking about joining in with us in the green room, don't forget. What do you need to get, Flossy? Flossy, what do they need to get?
I'm sorry. What I was.
Were you having your snack? Was it snack time? Was it?
No, I was getting the link for the for the Dockers episodes.
Is it two full lines and a diagonal?
They need the game.
No, what do you need what do you need to get to the green room?
Get the game.
Oh, you need TeamSpeak.
Yes,
sorry, I didn't hear the question. Yes. You need TeamSpeak, which and you need to go to a server called.
Go on. Begins with a T. Begins with a T.
ts.forthemug.com.
ts.forthemug.com. That's it. Yeah.
Which is not a website, is it?
You caught me on the hop.
Women are supposed to be able to multitask.
No, it's not a website.
No. If there's a thing that it's not a website.
No, definitely not a website.
Definitely not a website.
Yes.
Good web.
Got a Vice Squad anyway.
Well, good. Got Aidan joining in there. So anybody else, we will give you a warning when we get towards the end of the show. If you're going to join in last at the last minute, we'll tell you when that last minute.
Joining
with an apostrophe.
With an apostrophe, right? Okay.
Yeah.
An apostrophe.
Okay, so stay tuned, Green Room. We will be chatting to anyone who wants to talk to us.
Come down and do you later.
Yeah,
he's keen, that Aidan, isn't he? I'm not retired now. They're keen.
Yeah, Aidan's probably getting all the fans going in whatever room he's in.
Helicopter.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to make a noise like that in the winter.
Okay, how are we doing? We ready? Are we finished? Okay.
Let's rock and roll.
Go.
Okay.
Dad.
I gotta see it. I can see the Flossy's putting on her best bib and tucker, ready to divulge the coming and goings of the CG news. But whilst her assistant deals with the last of the laces and whatnots on her finery, we've just got time for one quick round of that age-old party favourite. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? So I'll turn my back. You lot creep up behind me while saying, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" I turn around, and if I see anyone move, they're disqualified. Okay, I'm turning my back.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Oh, sorry.
1 o'clock.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
4 o'clock.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
It's hard time.
No! Aardvark!
Dinner time.
That's the problem with letting Harry loose when we got a full moon. Let's go over to the silver bullet. That is Flossy with the CG News.
When the universe is in trouble, bug infestations in the bubble, your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives, let's Flossy tell you what it is, then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar Initiative. Flossy tells us what she thinks it is, then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossy says.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. There were no CGs last week, so nothing to report there. New CG 30th of June. Urgent request for supplies in HIP 22460. Medical and military commodities are needed to support the cross-superpower operation in the HIP 22460 system. Commodore Morag Halloran, who is coordinating for Azimuth Biotech aboard the Bright Sentinel megaship, outlined the requirements. The Proteus wave is designed to attract the bulk of the Thargoid fleet before destroying them. We are making preparations to defend salvation from the alien vessels until the superweapon is ready. Azimuth Biotech is offering generous payment for shipments of advanced medicines, basic medicines and reactive armour. These can be delivered to the Heart of Taurus megaship in HIP 22460. Specially tailored ship liveries are available as additional rewards in gratitude to those loyal commanders who are dedicated to Salvation's cause of defeating the Thargoids. The anti-Xeno task forces of the Alliance, Empire and Federation are also preparing to engage Thargoid forces in and around HIP 22460. Capital ships have been running combat drills and practicing naval manoeuvres. As yet, there is no indication when the anticipated Thargoid fleet may arrive. The top 75% of contributors will receive an Azimuth Rebellion paint job for the Crate Mark II, Eagle and Ferdilance. The campaign begins on the 30th of June and will run for 1 week. If the final targets met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering advanced medicines, basic medicines and reactive armour to the Heart of Taurus in HIP 22460. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you to the Floster. Oh, it's getting all exciting, isn't it? Speaking of excitement, it's time for the Twinkle Toad duo that are the Fred and Ginger of Galnet News, here to shimmy their way down the sequin-spangled staircase that is the news desk, showing us all how to look fantastic in a ball ground. But I do wish he'd shave his armpits. Let's hear it for Beetlejude and Wotherspoon!
Galnet News Digest, 30th of June 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, there's only one important piece of news. Salvation is preparing to launch the weapon which will destroy the Thargoids.
Salvation has started preparing the superweapon that he says will wipe out the Thargoids, and he has requested logistical support in HIP 22460 as Thargoid ships begin to take an interest.
This is Salvation. Construction of the Proteus wave has officially commenced. This version of my anti-Xeno superweapon has been designed to bring absolute victory against our adversaries. HIP 22460 will serve as the final battlefield in the Thargoid War. As with previous superweapons, we anticipate that the Guardian-based technology incorporated within the Proteus wave will once again attract the Thargoids. However, This time, it will eradicate the alien threat, not just from the system, but from the entire galaxy. Everyone who wishes to see this hostile species defeated once and for all should view this project as a call to arms. This is not a time for politics nor debate. It is an opportunity to secure humanity's continued survival.
2 of Salvation's megaships, Bright Sentinel and the Heart of Taurus, arrived in HIP 22460 overnight, and a number of non-human signal sources with scouts and interceptors have already started appearing in the system. Alliance, Federal and Imperial megaships are present in the system with a full complement of anti-Xeno equipped ships and are conducting drills as they await the arrival of the Thargoid fleet. Commodore Morag Halloran, speaking from the Bright Sentinel, explained that Salvation must be protected from the gathering Thargoids while he prepares his superweapon. She has appealed for military and medical supplies to be delivered to the other Azimuth megaship in the system, the Heart of Taurus. In addition to generous payment, the top 75% of contributors hauling advanced medicines, basic medicines, battle weapons, combat stabilizers and reactive armour to the megaship will earn an exclusive Azimuth Rebellion paint job for their Crate Mark II, Eagle and Fer-de-Lance. Commander Psychic of Operation Witch Hunt, which opposes Salvation's plans on legal and ethical grounds, points out that those who help Salvation now will find themselves on the wrong side of history, asserting that Salvation is a wrong 'un, and that no amount of shiny paint jobs are going to change that. This appeal seems likely to severely divide Commander's loyalties. Moon 10B in HIP 22460, which has 2 Thargoid surface bases, has been unexpectedly permit-locked, preventing anyone from visiting. These pictures were taken last night, before the permit lock was applied. The Overlook megaship, which was run by the Black Flight prior to its destruction by Thargoids, and the ruined Azimuth Biochemicals base Fort Ash, near the current position of the Heart of Taurus, can still be visited for those interested in the history of this controversial corporation. The other 2 Azimuth megaships, the Musashi and the Glorious Prospect, are in the nearby Pleiades Sector CW-U B3-2 system.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news, so you don't have to.
Thank you, Commanders Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. Not sure if I'll be able to sleep tonight after all that excitement, what with the flight down to Rio and everything. Tell you what, why don't I listen to the Hutton Helper results from Mia Harkness to help me get off?
To help you get off, you say? Okay. Welcome to the Hutton Helper Results. The Hutton Helper Results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with specially tailored lip shiveries and a free Going for Gold wall chart with stickers to collect and keep. This week we have the following events: the Away match Shield, the I Need 754 tons of Going for Gold 3 collector cards and no doublers Cup Winners' Cup, the Get Me a Gold Foil Ultra Rare Commander Aiden sticker for my album challenge, the Going for Gold 2 Deja Vu Trophy even, the No Data Dump for You Champion of Champions Championship, and the Fanbuster Hutton Extravaganza. So, don't get too close to the laser display board, never sell your data at a carrier, and always check the leaderboard to see where you are. This week's Hutton Helper results are: the Shrike jumped 76,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Zulu Romeo sold 25,000 tons of goodies. Top mission runner is Aiden with an apostrophe and 454 mission points. Johnny S cashed in 182 million credits worth of bounties. And Millstone Barn handed in 222 million credits worth of combat bonds. and Gotensk 82 delivered 466 people to their various destinations. So, decals there for Gotensk 82, Zulu Romeo, who doesn't appear to have one, would you believe, Aiden with an apostrophe, Trekkie Hickey for data handed in, Rogue 23SOC for own mind. So, email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a bobble hat and scarf, one Hutton-shaped rattle, and a cold hot pie with congealed bovril. There are 2 Hutton runs this week. Simon Winnard did it the very respectful 1 hour, 23 minutes and 50 seconds. And then he did a Hutton run for 78th place. Retired Navy IT1 made the run in 1 hour, 24 minutes and 37 seconds for 213th place. And we've done it, well, we did a stock check because I couldn't be asked to change the script. So we did a stock check anyway, and it appears that we have enough orange flavoured Tic Tacs to do a couple of days. Then we have to go into those pineapple chunks floor mopping guy keeps in the cupboard with all his toilet cleaning stuff. We won't run out of hot dogs. We've got lots of food cartridges, but really the 3D printed ones aren't as good. It's just nice knowing that there's real lips and bumholes in your hot dog sometimes, you know. Anyway, there's a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing shipped, shot, rescued, looted, repaired, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, frozen, liquidated, evaporated, sandblasted, sponged down, smelled, licked, extruded, discombobulated, recombobulated, rubbed, compressed, enveloped, siphoned, regurgitated, strained and probenated. Also, you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the delicious new Hutton Helper, available in 3 exciting formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than not being on the Going for Gold 3 laser display board. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. Nice to see so many decal winners this week. Let's hope they all claim them. Now, each week, Amelia Hawke braves new perils, faces danger, and eats, sniffs, dives into or rubs on some rare commodity for the Galnet Rares Digest. And quite frankly, I can't listen without a good stiff drink. But I think this week she's beaten me to it.
Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke, reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Somewhere near Sol, a couple of light years away, there's an orbital. It takes just under an hour and a half to get there. It orbits a little planet called Eden, which at one time was a candidate for water-bearing worlds outside the solar system. But when we visited it, realized it was actually a horrid and inhospitable place. It sits in a trinary system. Back in the days when witch space was used for transportation, you could jump to Proxima directly. But after discovering that strange things with 8 sides lurked in witch space, we decided that was a bad idea and came up with the frameshift jump network. The jump point, as luck would have it, was the other 2 stars, Alpha Centauri A and B. And Proxima, despite its name, was 0.22 light years away. In between these 2 times, a small extraction and refinery outpost grew out near Eden, a handy stop-off for travellers from Sol, back when the number of systems visited could be measured in small multiples of 256. It attracted spacefarers, traders, and, back in the day, was plenty large enough for every man or woman, Jack or Jill, or Jameson, flying the ubiquitous Cobra. However, once the frameshift network was established, it began to fade into obscurity. Other than the odd desperate trading call for food or machinery parts, there was very little reason to visit. It did gain a reputation, though, as somewhere you could go if you were utterly fed up with everything, if you didn't like people very much, or wanted to hide from whatever was chasing you. A perfect place for loners and hermits. And, well, before the Hutton mug was invented, there was another rare. Lonely people got bored sometimes. Bored people find new and interesting ways to entertain themselves, and what's more entertaining than mixing your own moonshine, your own liqueur? Something to take the edge off the space madness from having travelled for an hour and a half in a straight line with only your ship's computer for company. The stockpiles of staple foods contained grain. It just so happened that there was a shipment of juniper berries that was abandoned in the warehouse. So, enterprising Hutton lurkers came up with a plan, and that plan was gin. The basics were there, the alcohol, the juniper. All they needed now were the other botanicals. And they found them, here and there. The odd pot plant, the stuff growing in the ventilation system, the strange fungal growths in the pipes, and, the stuff that was in the water purification system. Over hundreds of years, the locals spoke to the barman in hushed tones. The occasional bottle of something clear, colourless and marked flammable came out from under the bar. Money changed hands. Hangovers were well earned. This gin grew in reputation, and soon word reached out to the further corners of the Milky Way. The Centauri Mega Gin brand was born, distilled in small quantities. Pilots came from far around just to buy one bottle to take on their journeys. The thing is, as with the advert for hair products claiming that you no longer need to take 2 bottles into the shower, Centauri Mega Gin proved to be the multi-tool of alcohols. Dip your cutlery in it, and in seconds it was clean enough to perform surgery. Dip your surgical tools in it, and they'd be good enough for brain surgery. Turn it into a gel, and you could put it in little dispensers in the gangways and keep everyone from passing on the lurgy. Floor mopping guy uses it on those stubborn stains in the back of the pan after a particularly filthy truckers have visited. And what's more, it's drinkable, ish. Most gins are used in hippie cocktails with grand names. A dirty martini is made all the better by a decent gin, shaken, stirred, or just downed in one without. The Centauri Mega Gin sling is a particular favourite. You take 2 measures of gin, pour into a glass. Take 1 large ice cube. Large. Store for later in another glass. Take your mixer, sling it away. Drink the gin, and by the time the large block of ice melts, you might need that to help start curing the inevitable hangover. Due to the nature of the additional botanicals used in its production, no 2 bottles of the Mega Gin taste the same. One might be drier than a desert world under the hot sun. The next, fragrant, like the aloe vera plant used to flavour it. The very next having a slight mushroomy taste. Some are blue. Some are green. Some are blue going in and green going out again, which is a little bit disconcerting. The common factor is the strength of the gin. Probably why stranded pilots have been known to use it as an emergency fuel reserve, or a weapon. My first visit this week to the Orbital, I went to the bar. I winked at the barkeep and flashed my Galnet Rares Digest card. I'm not sure if he winked back, mainly as he was wearing an eye patch over his eye. But after a few 100 credits passed over the bar, he brought out a small glass bowl with the CMG logo etched into it. He smiled, slowly unscrewed the cap, and poured a thimbleful of the gin into the cap, which I downed, and then regretted it. If someone had poured liquid lava down my throat, followed by the ice from a nearby ring system, a couple of naga chilies, a spoonful of wasabi, and a second spoonful of hot mint, it would probably hurt less. For 30 seconds, I couldn't breathe. My heart beat only once. My eyes crossed, and beads of sweat broke out on my forehead. And then it passed. Things came back into focus. My tongue regained at least some of its feeling, and there was flavour, complex flavour, dancing on my tongue. It tasted of, I'm not really sure what it tasted of, but it lingered, and it wasn't unpleasant. Like a distant whiff of potpourri, or a perfume, or aftershave that's interesting enough to turn your head as someone wafts past. Did it taste like pine forests, or Indian spices? Was it truffle or hemp? Still smiling, the barman pulled a bottle of ordinary common or garden variety gin out, the kind that comes in a green bottle and is sold in vast quantities throughout the galaxy. He poured it into a standard-sized glass, 2 measures, and held it out. Well, not one to turn down a free drink. I threw the glass back, and my eyes opened with surprise. I thought he'd handed me water. Laughing, he dropped a match, and the remains of the glass on the bar caught fire. Quite simply, the Centauri Mega Gin had rendered my taste buds immune to other forms of alcohol. I tried the vodka, I tried the whiskey, I tried the whiskey, note the E there, the rum, and all of a sudden, that was it. I was lying on my back on the floor of the bar, looking at the ceiling. I couldn't move my arms or my legs. I couldn't speak. I was as stiff as a board, and around me I could see faces looking down at me and laughing. Apparently, the first go in the CMG does that to people. In fact, all attempts at drinking it have that effect. But after about 15 minutes, they propped me up, leaning against the bar like a board. It wore off. And then the alcohol kicked in. I don't remember much after that point. But, apparently there's photos and video. And people keep looking at me funny as I walk down the corridors here at Hutton. So, having finally been back to Hutton Orbital to try one of the rares, this is Amelia Hawke, reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. I've experienced the wonder that is Centauri Mega Gin, and trust me, you have to too.
Just a small one.
Ooh, looks like a stiff one.
That was a lot better than my usual. I mean, I wasn't chased by some kind of gigantic beast. I wasn't poisoned, stabbed, shot at. I wasn't hit with sticks.
How do you know you were unconscious?
Yeah. So,
Hey, Shiv,
no,
this is-
no, she was conscious. She
I
was
would have
just
had
immobile.
bruises.
It was just a premonition for LaveCon.
The people at Hutton are so nice, they just laughed.
Yeah, so blue
And
going in,
pointed.
green coming out.
Yes, as Banter says, that is true. Because there was a little bit of truth in everything that comes out of Hutton, and in this case, it did happen to a member of the team who wasn't actually present to this evening.
Oh dear.
Yes,
Still narrowing it down.
yeah.
We're not going to drop any names.
No, but he's just saying it in the chat. So that's
So was it cow or moof? Because if it's moof, I could
no. It's gonna more oath than moof.
Oh. No. That narrows it down.
Yeah.
I remember one year I was in Mexico for the Day of the Dead celebrations, and at one point a local gave me some moonshine mezcal, and he'd got in a Coke bottle. Oh, try this. That's good. And it is true what they say about mezcal. At some point, your legs just stop working. I was walking across the road, thought, I'm not getting anywhere. And my wife pointed out that that's because I was kneeling now, and I couldn't get up. Woke up with a clear head the next morning, not a problem at all. But
you woke up 500 miles away in a wardrobe, but
yeah, it was a few years ago. So yes, who knows what had happened now? Yeah. Oh, lovely. So that's good. It's fun to give you a nice rare to do that isn't going to risk bits of you falling off. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it will eventually if you keep doing it like that. Yes. Yeah. We have any? I think are we getting ready to do some moves?
Green room.
So if people,
you said you'd warn everyone about.
I will do. So if you're watching the show and you think, oh, I'd like to go into the green room, this is the time to do it. What I'm going to do in a minute, we'll move Aidan and retired Navy IT1 into the same one where Volcarius is, so everybody's in one room.
Has anyone got a good Palpatine voice? They could say, do it.
Do it.
Hate flow through you.
Let the hate flow through you.
Let's do that. Okay, here we go. Ramforth. If you've not been listening, you need TeamSpeak, and you point it to ts.forthemug.com. And if you hurry, you can speak to. So are we going to go there? So let's move our guests into the and moving you across. And there will be a slight pause where the feed will go deaf for you lot, because otherwise we'll get feedback. And we will work our way to the live broadcast room. Here we go. Welcome to the green room. And here we are.
I love the intro to the green room. You see all these people running, and then suddenly it just slide scrolls to this guy sitting behind a bench looking ominous.
Yes, well, it's that kind of a club.
I thought it was like 28 days later or something like that.
It's not easy to make things up from the material I have available.
Yeah, we can tell.
What, the internet?
Yes. No, yeah.
Limited resources. Yes.
It is very much. Well, here we are. So I'm going to suggest we do. Ready? Those of us, Amelia, Mia, Chicks, Flossy, and then me. Okay.
Okay.
And
we have
three
Commander
guests.
Volcarius. Hello, Commander Volcarius.
Good evening, Hutton Orbital.
I can hear him
Just
this
two
week,
seams this time then, not bad.
2, I counted 4, but
Oh,
but then I listen closely for the seams. It's kind of my thing.
well, I too will be sure to purchase a Casio keyboard, so I can make my own high-quality drum roll. I must do that.
How the devil are you?
Oh, sorry about that. Did that laser go off? Oh, sorry. Oh.
Never mind, his eyebrows will grow back.
Well, after recovering from this laser shot to my shield, quite well. I think I'm quite well.
This is the green room, you expect the unexpected, like laser shots, apparently.
Well, we're all about no, we're about the beam lasers, I suppose. Not so much the ones that kind of shoot, the ones that stay on.
Speaking of beam lasers, have you shot anyone recently? What have you got up to?
I haven't shot anyone recently, so that I put I mentioned my data markup project quite a while back, which I've now put a preview online. So that was it was a good major step. It's not for everyone, obviously. It's a bit techie, but.
Do we have a link?
Oh damn!
We did have ages ago. We've put it out there. Yeah, but
put it out there.
Is it linking off of yours and your main?
Hold on. I can put it in the chat here if you want.
Go on.
There you go.
And then Commander Palantir can work his mystical magics of the web.
Here we go, and bing!
The interwebs. Oh, what have you been up to besides your website?
Hang on. Was I talking to myself just then?
I don't know. What did you say? I mean,
earlier.
Seamless. Seamless.
Yeah. So just for anyone who's seeing that there, it's if you use JSON or XML, this is better. I've thought a lot about the two and how I can take the best of both and add quite a few features that I've needed professionally and also for hobby projects as well. So say a better data markup system. I'm still in development, of course, but that's the preview. So.
Cool. Sounds very complicated.
Yeah, I'm documenting it at the moment, which it didn't quite progress as intended. Although
it didn't.
Starting the documentation though was still very good because it put me into a cycle of writing about it, therefore uncovering new specifics for how it should work, adding the appropriate tests, then making it work that way. So that was a pretty good development cycle as well, I would say.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think I can call it an alpha version based on its properties of having all the aspects of an alpha version.
So it's usual development there where you write some documentation, then you think, oh, I better go back and recode it so it actually does what I've just said. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You'd start typing how it does work, and then that slips into how it should work. And you start asking, is that how it works? Does it do that? Have I tested that? Well, no. And yeah.
That's why documentation is a devil. Sorry, Amelia.
It's okay. When are we to expect the beta version?
Oh, wow. Well, I think when I finish documenting it, actually, that would mark the end of that kind of cycle, and at which point I'll just be into bug fixes. I can't exactly say when, though, because it's something I'm only doing on evenings and weekends. So it's
are you having fun doing it?
Oh, yes.
That's the main thing.
It's something I've thought about for a lot. Like, I've thought about this for years prior to starting it, like a few months ago. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of applications which become far easier when you have a good data markup system, did you like the ship name generator?
The ship name generator?
I presume you haven't tried it then?
I haven't, no. I have not at all. I very rarely actually get to do much besides the show these days.
If you were listening last week, you'd have noticed.
It's because of you that I'm flying the lusty cantaloupe now.
It has no such words. That apology officer.
Well, what happened to mine then?
You know what? I'm gonna actually do this right now. Let's see what I come up with.
Yeah, go for it.
How long does this take normally?
One click.
And the bearded laddie.
Ooh, the Charm of the Empress. That's a really cool name.
Incandescent prestige. Setting bum on fire.
So I do like the fact you can just get loads of names. Just
fluorescent cavity.
If there's one thing I've learned from that, no matter how much we try to keep its output strictly upstanding and inspiring,
detumescent,
is still it's still full of people ready to claim it said something rude or disparaging.
Ascent to tranquility. These are really cool.
And what you'll notice, Amelia, if you hover over it and move your mouse to the right, you'll see you can click on that and copy it to the clipboard, and then you can paste it.
Fibrous
you can click anywhere on it; it'll copy it.
Ooh, harbinger of ferocity. Wow, nasty.
Yeah, but I can guarantee personally that there's no possible way it ever said INV worthless peasant.
Elegance defined.
Everyone's a critic. Yeah.
So some of these commanders, they need to, especially the apology officer now, you need to cleanse your mouth out with soap.
I'm only reading what's on the screen.
Why is it in your handwriting?
Vicious force. Now that could be taken many ways.
Yeah, as long as you're careful not get addicted to soap, though. Which I used to.
Itinerant protuberance.
Righteous passion. That's a bit saucy.
I don't think I did it again.
Do you think
nobility exemplified? These are actually real names that are coming up for me.
Flared trout. They're real names coming up for me as well.
I think this is how they name the Dirty Harry films. Got to use one of these.
That is very, very, very cool.
Sudden impact.
The Empress's bingo wings.
So soap now. As long as you don't get addicted to soap, which see, I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now.
Oh God, that's so bad.
Yeah, I know.
Hang on. Let me make a note of that one.
Don't teach him new things.
Yeah.
Don't teach him new things.
He's not used to new.
I've kind of.
Yeah, never make jokes in
that
front
one-
of the Empress. You're dicing with death there.
That one's ancient. In fact, I should probably come clean and say I didn't make that one up myself. Whereas every other time I've said something awful here, I have made it up myself at least.
We could tell.
Yeah, well, actually, that it didn't need to. Really, I'd say it didn't really need too much input from me to make that either. It was a dust off a bit of CSS animation,
The feathered tickler.
a few basic rules so it can make phrases which don't say things like that from a config file.
You should so put them in. That would be brilliant.
I want them in. I'll help you.
You should do a second version with all noise.
Well, there should be a radio
it
button
is
to allow it to turn on or not. Yes. I don't think
I'll
Alex would
help you.
approve. No.
Definitely not.
No.
Very. Alexandra is very, very proper. So
Yes.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Although that said, it is just a config file, so you, in theory, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you explained it to her. I'm not.
No, I mean, I'm not bloody hosting it. Like, you need to
Just say I
do that.
requested it.
If you want to make your server say such filth, then that's on you.
We want to say nothing but filth.
Yes.
Yes.
We're only here for the filth.
That's the reason for living.
There's some lovely filth over here.
Anyway,
It's incidentally that you jabbed at me last week about the INV prefix.
I did.
Which
No, I did.
not you personally.
I know it was me.
You
It was me.
probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it actually drops if it chooses to drop the prefix if the name would be too long.
Well, I knew that. I just thought it was funnier the way I wrote it.
Oh.
I knew it wasn't a mistake. But...
He was just toying with you.
Mm.
Yeah, because I found that it's 22 characters. With the prefix, it becomes like 18, including the space, which is barely enough for like a pair of words.
I thought it was 21.
It's 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or well, at least a pair of words of a length of which we are accustomed.
Yes.
Alexandra's used to much longer words, so that's fine.
The vertical entrance.
As Darkness Dreams said earlier, imperial names for the smug. I quite like that.
For the smug.
I think I should stop.
Funny.
I should stop wittering now though, because there's other people here. So I'll say,
Give them a chance to witter.
Oh, the humanist vegetable.
Still at it. The apology officer. So, thank you all for the show. Hail the Empress, and for the mug.
For the
For the
mug.
mug.
It's
For the
me
smug.
now to speak to Commander Aiden. Are you there? Oh,
Yes.
God, you are. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. That's not about me. I'll ask the questions, you answer them.
Oh, so you're not in a massive huff then?
No, not this week, no.
Okay.
I mean, there's time yet. It's early. It's not even the weekend yet. But,
Yeah.
So what have you been doing?
Well, other than the massive bust.
Yes.
Working the massive bust.
Working the massive bust.
Working
yes.
that bust.
Well,
Did you manage to undo it one-handed?
Yeah, he's been manipulating it.
Single-handed.
Did you not
I
hear
don't
the
want
twang?
to take all the credit. It was a rather large bust. So
19 days in the end?
20 odd, but then you'd know better than I.
Well, I just write this shit. I don't remember it.
Yes, but so I basically just went, I've got nothing to do, nothing better to do on Sunday. I'll just
19.
go and, work
Sort
in
it
Wolf
out.
25.
Yeah, cool.
So you've
It's a
been,
nice system, Wolf 25, though.
Yeah, Bonkers is good.
Yeah.
And Mean Orbital.
Given that I was always, it was always asked, it was, could we have some, Onion Head Gamma Strain, some power generators and all that lot. I went, oh, okay. Well, I
I
can
hope
get
you're not
that
going to
lot.
admit to supplying drugs on the wireless.
It's all legal.
Mm.
So, it's entirely above board.
Yeah, there you go.
It was legal where I bought it, and it's legal
where you
where I
sold
pass
it.
it on.
Awesome.
So I made a nice little run between Bonkers and Dolphin Gateway.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
So one jump from one Hutton system to another Hutton system and back again.
So it's trading at both ends for Hutton then?
Yeah.
And
That's pretty good.
in what sort of ship was that in?
I started off in my Corvette, and then went, no, I need a bit more cargo space.
Yeah.
And so I swapped to the cutter, and it was, oh, people are trying to interdict me.
It's all right.
Well,
Cutter.
that was dumb.
It's good in a cutter. They can't mass log you.
No, but given that this is a rather engineered cutter that comes equipped with quite a lot of guns and some pack count missiles.
Mm. Yeah, the pack count missiles is going to make a difference for a start.
It's funny, no matter how hard they try, they just can't get your shields down.
Yeah.
No, especially seeing as these were prismats that were engineered for thermal resistance, and I had shield boosters on top.
Yeah, that would do it, yeah.
I think I got, after about three attempts, they got me down to about 20% after 3 encounters. Which one I went,
what's your shield
okay.
strength then? Is it quite high?
Give me a second, I can tell you.
Ah.
Actually, no, I've got to go. I'd have to go back to. I'd have to get back on to
another time.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
I think is the easiest way of putting it.
Okay. Yep. That'll do.
And I just sort of went, oh, well, now I've done that. I think I'll head over to Quarrato and do some of this Operation Witch Hunt stuff.
Mm.
So that's what I've been doing this evening.
Oh, excellent. So you're getting there. That sounds like a busy week.
Oh, well, not really. I'm on late shift, so I don't have to be in the office until late, and I don't have to get up until late. So,
oh dear, what a life! What a life! Still, I suppose you're working late, which is not good.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah, it's a job, exactly.
And next week, in the office early and out the office early. So,
well, swings and roundabouts. Then it all balances out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I did notice you come online about 11 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
Oh, you must be on the late shift.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not the night shift, that's something else.
Oh yeah, no, that's completely something else. They'd have to pay me more for that.
A hell of a commute.
Yes. But no, I figured yesterday, given all of the news about everything's moving to HIP 22, whatever diddly doodah.
Yeah.
You can get diddly doodah. You can get the system permit off of a beacon in.
Don't need to.
No.
Everyone's got it for the CG.
Yeah, but I figured, well, I'll go. I haven't got that system permit yet, so, well, I've got an extended legs DBX, so it's only 600 light years,
Yeah, it's nothing. 10 jumps, if that.
Well, I think it's 700 light years, so yeah, it was about 10.
Yeah.
Because even if you're in a shortish jump range DBX of I think it's got a max of about 74 light years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still.
Got to do it.
Gotta do it.
Yep.
So I went there, scanned the beacon, scanned the system, honked and jumped on the way back.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Is that you for this week then? All sorted?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Well, we need to
For
hear
the
you
mug?
say it. You have to. Yeah, you have to say it for the mug.
For the mug.
Mug. And I even turned off the fans just for you.
I noticed.
It's a bit sweaty in here now. It's,
Yeah.
Aidan, are you up this weekend or are you working?
I don't work weekends.
Oh, excellent. So the answer is yes. So I'm still waiting for David to confirm tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, because I was going to drop him a text and say to see whether or not, having been at a vegan event, he wanted to go to Bodine's.
Well, definitely.
And eats.
But yeah,
he'll eat far too much. You know, you've got to look after him. You know, he doesn't know when to stop.
The last time he went out, he couldn't eat it all. He kept asking for it, and we couldn't eat it. It was so much.
Yeah, but Bodine's, and then, oh no, we might have to go off to that other place as well.
Yes. The basement bar.
Yeah, the horror of it all.
Terrible. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, some people never learn either, but hey, what can you do? Anyway.
This is true.
He's already for the mugged.
He's already done the for the mug, isn't it? So I better not hit hyperspace because I think I'm talking to Navy IT1. Is he still there? Retired
Yep,
Navy?
I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
Still trying to wake up. Just a couple of complaints that I have.
I'm just going to pull on the parking brake. Just a minute. There we go. I've just parked up my ass by this satellite.
My first complaint is being accused of being a criminal because I sat there and unloaded basic meds and performance enhancers to clear out the outbreak. And
It was you.
I even admitted it in Discord that I emptied it. So how can I be a criminal when I confessed. Okay, so I'm a criminal.
I missed that.
and then I'm ready. I'm willing to do too hot, too messy, but something needs to be done about that scene. That was just it just wasn't right.
What, the silence?
Yes.
Don't mention the silence because there won't be one when I upload it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to edit this bit out because it's going to confuse everyone.
It'll all be fine in the edit.
Just edit everything after that point and just delete it all and we'll be fine.
What scene? What scene? So,
there were no scenes. Move on.
So, you and Aidan have unbusted Wolf 25.
Yep, sat there, did my part in that, wanted to clear that up, and now we're going to sit there and try to take care of the other Epsilon's outbreak. And that's if someone decides to, bring in a fleet carrier that have some meds there for us.
Let me just check because
have you got a Wookiee or something in there with you?
We could, if it's a baby one, we could barbecue it later.
Oh.
But it might be a little chewy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
I'm just checking my...
You must try again.
Try
again.
There
we go. No.
I blame
God,
Vocarious.
He can move fast when he has to, can't he?
My fleet carrier has been parked up in this system with really cheap basic meds with an outrageous buy price, and nobody's no takers whatsoever.
Well, I'll see what I can do about that one, and then the other thing is
Atagat, is it?
We are in an outbreak. How is it that Salvation can sit there and put out a request for meds when he knows quite well that we are the ones that need it?
Oh, it's a matter of scale, isn't it? It's the fleet carrier load generally clears the system, but who knows how much he's going to get. What's a carrier? It's 25,000, mind you. With all the crap on mine, I'll get about 16,000. There's 4,000 tons of beer on there, I just noticed. So you can have that if you want.
Thanks. Well, see what I can do about emptying it for you.
It's in Attergat, which is not very far away. It's very close to Epsilon Eridani, actually. So yeah, if you want to fill her up, be my guest, and then let me know if you do fill it or you've had enough, and I'll move it over to Epsilon Eridani.
I've got it bookmarked, so I know where it's at.
Yeah, they're not hard to find, but Inara will tell you where they are. But I set a good buy price, and I even upped it earlier on today. Because I thought, well, it's still empty. It's been there for 3 or 4 days. No takers. So what else? You been up to anything else? I mean, you've been quite busy, to be fair. So if you've been up to some...
That's pretty much been about it. Just sitting there
Exactly.
taking care of the bus and, and transporting meds.
So, Sean, what time it'll be Saturday night about 10 o'clock in 2 weeks' time. So that's what's that? That's like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That's tea time on night shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's nice about being retired is that, I really don't have a schedule. It's just that I was third shift for 20 years in the Navy, and then doing the night shift when I was doing armed security. So I have issues when the sun is up. So I think I'm always night shift.
Mm-hmm. Sean used to, but he's all right now.
Exactly. But other than that, I'm ready for Too Hot, Too Messy, and
yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not really quite sure, with the systems and lockdowns and going into stations that are underneath combat and everything else. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Just looking, I was just trying to get a sense of scale. I'm just looking at the Hutton Helper. So systems visited. So, and I know the top 3 on systems visited so far this week are all exploring. So I've visited 252 systems this week. So if you can imagine, you're going to deliver, there's 130,000 stations he's talking about. So imagine you personally do, I don't know, let's say 1,000 stations, and we're only managing 100 jumps a week. It's going to take a long time. That's a lot of weeks.
Truthfully, I don't remember how many I did during Hot Mess. It's just I know I was there during the first drop, providing cover in my Type 10, and then making the last delivery to end it. I do remember that during the infrastructure failure that we had there towards the end. I had run out of mugs, and I was able to get some from Monty. I was lucky to get a hand off from him. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this one.
I'm just checking. I can't, because it's not a commodity. I know I've got a load of mugs. I don't know how many on my carrier. They've been in there for ages. Because every time I go to Hutton, I go and get a ton. No, I can't see them. No. It's not one of the options, is it?
It's making good radio. Go on.
No, it doesn't work. I'll have to go to my fleet carrier and see. But I know I've got a load of Mega Gin, Lavian brandy, and mugs on my carrier, so there's a head start.
You'll need a head start if Cecil hears about it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to kick Cecil off my crew when I start that, or I'm not going to have any gin to deliver.
Well, somebody said, he might have even been shouting himself. He said it's obviously easier these days because you don't have to actually trek all the way up, and you can just take the shortcut. Fleet carrier, transfer tons of stuff over. I know it's kind of cheating, but
Yeah, but some of us don't have a fleet carrier.
well, we can get fleet carriers filled up and then take them somewhere. And
Do you think people ought to rent fleet carriers?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
But anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I've been doing for the mug.
For the mug.
Which gives us Helen to talk to Amelia, I think. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, Amelia.
Hello,
What's the week you
Flossy.
Oh.
My week's been pretty boring. I've been working a lot, but it's all for a good cause because I am saving my money for LaveCon.
Oh, yes. Looking forward to that.
I am so looking forward to this. It's insane.
Yeah, it's your first one, isn't it?
Yes, I've had the tickets for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm really psyched for this. This is actually going to be my first event, not just my first LaveCon, but it's going to be my first event in over 3 years, literally going out.
Yeah, same for me.
So I'm so excited.
Last event I was at was Dead Meat's 50th.
Oh, bless.
That was in February 2021, I think, or was it January? It was early 21.
Dead Meat's 50? I didn't think he was 50.
Not 21, 20, wasn't it? 2020.
Yeah. 60 I would have believed, but not 50.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Dead Meat. 40th, yes, of course.
Yeah, the same thing for me, Helen. It was the last time I went out was Dead Meat's 50th, because after that I thought I don't want to go out ever again if it's going to be like that. No.
Oh, that was a good do.
Yeah.
Oh, was he licking people?
He was having a good go at drinking a yard of ale. Very slowly.
Bless. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm just working hard, saving my pennies. I plan on spending a lot of money, getting filthy amounts of food and alcohol. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh,
Other than that, for the mug.
For the mug.
It's me to talk to Mia.
Hello.
Mia, what have you been doing that you can tell us about that won't get you in trouble with the law?
Oh, that narrows it down. Jeez. No, I've gone out on my second exploration trip for going for Gold 3.
Hey.
So I'm heading to the abandoned settlements at Hawkins Gap, and I'm just about halfway there.
Wave on the way past.
Yes, I shall. I'm up high. I'm about 500 light years above the galactic plane, but I'm making good time, you know. So that's pretty much it in terms of elite stuff. But yeah, so just a for the mug from me. For the mug.
I think it's me to talk to myself, isn't it?
No, it was somebody else. Oh, maybe me to talk to you.
Oh, yeah. Go on then.
Go on then.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Who's asking? Hang on, who's asking the questions?
I'm asking the questions. You're answering them.
I've been doing going for Gold 3.
How exciting! How many Earthlinks this week?
4.
Fucks.
I found 2 in the same system.
What? Double it. I found one that somebody else had already claimed. They hadn't mapped it though.
Well, in fact, I'll post the graphic, and you'll instantly know what it is in the other chat later. But
yeah,
I was like,
wow, double Earthlinks.
It wasn't a binary, but they
Yeah.
were both in the same system. Planets 3 and 5. But yes, very
I don't know
nice.
what happened to Planet 4?
Well, it was something else.
That Planet 4 must be where Canon's team are.
No, I think Planet 4 was an HMC, but it was terraformable, so I had that as well. But yeah, it's going well. I turned for home a couple of days ago. Turned for the bubble.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure you take your own advice about getting back in time.
Exactly. That's why I wrote it in there. And I'm going to start doing the LYR in. I've penciled in the 12th. I'm going to start that.
Right.
Because obviously you have to do it the week before the event completes.
Yes.
So then you've got a week where you're all boosted and you've got no data. So I might nip out that week. But it's LaveCon, so not really going to be
You
around.
might and you might not.
Yeah, exactly. Just see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't last time. I sort of got back, cacked all that data out, and then just mooched about.
Yeah, I kind of mixed a bit as
2.5 years of that. I'd had enough.
Yeah, I kind of picked up some suits and
Suits?
messed about. Yeah, suits.
Oh, those suits, yeah.
Yeah,
Flight
and
suits.
potted around and found some weapons and things and cut open an old spaceship and stole parts out of it and stuff. And then I just thought, I'm getting back out. I'm not doing much anything just now.
Well, I can give you my full attention now because that single high metal content world is 275,000 light seconds away, and I'm on my way to it. So
yeah,
you've got my undivided attention now.
Great. So how are the twin Bowfers or the twin Bowfers going?
Very good.
Yes.
Yes, we did top coat on the barrels last week. What featured in the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And fending off curious remarks from onlookers.
Curious remarks?
I was an American tourist shouted to me yesterday that I had the best job in the world. I said it might look like that from where you're standing.
Yeah, you haven't seen.
All I can see is arseholes. Yes.
Yes. He said, "I do that for free." I said, "It's funny you say that."
Yeah, join the club. You can do it for free. Come on.
Yes, you can get this filthy.
Yes.
It's quite funny because I often have a pint on the way home in one of the local pubs, and you sort of sit there at the bar all covered in crap, like because where you wear all the PPE and stuff, all the sweat makes the dirt stick around your face, so you've got ridiculous marks around your face, and your arms are all black, with rusted paint and shit. And the guy in the pub has got quite used to it, but some of the punters come in and they look at you like like you've been up a chimney or something. Been down a coal mine. It's quite funny. They sort of look and they like double take.
Yeah, so didn't you know it's all finance in London now? We do it all in spreadsheets.
Yeah, exactly. They're all bankers and sort of out there. It's all in the city
and they work in banks.
And I've got this horrible minging T-shirt. That's anyway.
Anyway, is horrible minging T-shirts a good place to leave it?
Yes, probably.
Yes. Say the words.
Oh yeah, we've already done it. So I might probably catching up with the Oaf and one or two others tomorrow night. So anyway, for that mug.
It's somebody here. Helen can't talk to stuff. I'm going to. Oh yeah, I know they're making this up as they go along, Helen. In which case, I will do the same and say, Helen, Flossy, how's your week been?
Oh, I've been much the same as Chicks. I've been out exploring. Doing the going for gold thing.
Yay!
So,
You going anywhere in particular, or?
I'm below the plane. Just sort of, just meandering really.
Nice.
Just on
Your seventh.
Just using my I am at the moment, but
Poppies, yeah.
Not for long.
I hope that'll change anyway.
She's got big plans.
So you've got at least 4 of the hankies coming up your behind, as it were.
Yeah, as I see. So yeah, I'm just using the economical routing and just wandering around. And I seem to be in an area now where there's a lot of undiscovered systems, so I'm quite happy with that.
That's good.
Yeah. I found one Earth-like last night in an undiscovered system, so that was nice.
You people with your Earthlikes, I don't know.
I know it wasn't really worth all that much actually. On the, I use EDSM at the same time to see what's worth scanning.
I always thought they were worth about 3 million.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Depends on the size. The bigger they are, the more they're worth.
It must be small because it was under 1 million.
Really?
I thought, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is. I get more for the heavy metal. No, not heavy metal.
High metal.
High metal. I keep calling them heavy metal. High metal contents.
Whatever you want.
A few terraformable Rockies recently.
Yeah, I have had one or two. Yeah, which was quite surprising. You know, they pop up on the ADSM dashboard. What? A Rocky?
Yeah,
Oh, well, yeah.
One
Let's go and do
of
it.
the odd ones the other day was, you know, you get the sort of brown dwarf, the T-Tauri types in orbit, and it must have been 15 satellites, and the outer 3, that's right, because it was H, I, and J. So what's that? Like 10 or 11?
Wow.
Were all terraformable, so I mopped those up. But
yeah.
So the other place to look for Rockies is around those sort of dwarf, you know, not quite made it stars.
Yeah.
Pick up a few, 1 million or so each.
Right, that's all right. I know I've had a couple of systems where it's been about 10 or 12 million for everything. So, doesn't happen that often, but it's nice when it does.
Yeah, when I did the last one, I made a note of sort of under 10 to 20, you know, and in the 40s, and obviously most of them are in the teens or below 10. And I found 2 above 50 million, and quite a few, 6 or 7 in the 40s. But they don't seem like particularly, you know, there's not like 6 Earthlights or anything like that. It was maybe 1 Earthlight, a couple of water wheels, and then a ton of HMCs. So it's amazing how they stack up when you would look at it and go, it's nothing special.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are.
No, I've never had anything quite that.
55 million was the highest high.
That is a lot. That you definitely got the touch.
It was complete luck, and I've never got anywhere near it since. I haven't been in the 40s, but.
Well, I think I've had a good night when I get 10. Never mind. Unless you're doing something though.
Yeah, stay off the beaten path. That's the key.
That's what.
That's the key, is stay off the beaten path. And
oh yeah, I'm doing that definitely.
First discovery bonuses and first map bonuses are really, you know, what make it.
Yeah. So other than that, I've not really done anything else in game. No, just I think I had a couple of nights where I went and did some missions with Hanky and Rampage, but most of the time I've been out exploring.
Every now and again, just to break the sort of monotony of, you know, it feels like it sometimes, is you get a nice planet and it's close to the star, so it's nice and light, and you see some biologicals and you just go down for a bit of a drive around and a bit of
I've done that a couple of times.
Got a nice drive in the countryside.
I don't always go on a planet overnight, but I have done sometimes. If I see a nice one, I'll go and land on it and have a quick look around and then log out.
You wake up and it's all dark. You go, hey, I don't remember this. What's going on?
Yeah. So, I think that's for the mug. Thank you. So is it now me to talk to you then?
I've been done.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, not yet. In fact, that was.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be talking.
I
to
know.
me,
I know. It was. I know. They just did that. Yeah. I think the apology officer forgotten who'd been talking and who was being talked at.
Well, she's just come online, so.
So then, Harry.
Yes,
Harry
well, I've had a very interesting medical week. Started off with started off with a routine abdominal aortic aneurysm scan, where a nice lady takes the scanners they use to show pregnant ladies their babies, and then tries to push it through your chest and out the back. So once I stopped breathing, she could do a scan. That was fine, no problems with that. Then a blood test, and then preparation for a colonoscopy. You know, where they stick a camera up your bum, you know, from the pooperazzi, you know.
Yeah.
But
I've had something similar.
Dear, well, I'd say that I won't go into details of the preparation. Put it this way, I no longer have to imagine what it would be like if someone shoved a hosepipe down my throat and turned it on full blast.
Right. Okay then.
But the scan was absolutely fine, no problems at all. So.
Well, that's good. That's
yes.
amazing.
And that was good. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the fun week I've had. So for the mug.
Okay then. Thank you for the mug.
I think that's everyone. That takes us round full circle. So shall we run back up? Because I've left my chewing gum under the seat back in the studio.
Oh, I'm getting that.
Why aren't we in a green room?
We are. We're in the live broadcast rooms yes, we are because Cal renamed it ages ago. Then only one of them's called Green Room. Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. Let us move back to the on-air room. Let us go.
I'm back.
And here we go. Just waiting.
I didn't realise one had been renamed.
Yeah.
I saw the two green room names there, and I thought they were each rooms, but they weren't.
The feeds. And you have to move the feed out of the room we're going into, otherwise we get green room feedback.
Yes.
Right, well, thank you very much, everyone, for putting up with the seam. And if you're listening to the recording, you won't know what the seam was, because I've taken it out.
There was no seam. There was never a seam. It was seamless.
These aren't the seams you're looking for. No. Because it'll be really, really boring on the radio version. I leave that in there. Okay. So the upload may take a couple of hours longer. All right. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for our green room guests. Thank you for talking to us and let us know what's been going on. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to everybody for being brilliant, and thanks for Banter for staying away. Well, it's 10:38 now, so he would just be getting going on the second person by now. So thank you, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I've really, really enjoyed this. So thank you, and I think there just remains one last tradition.
For the mug!
For the mug!
Journey too long, cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Halving out the free, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody trucker's song. So give me a large pipe that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. 0.22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the and trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the and trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.